I think we're live on YouTube too. What's the link? I'm just going to put it in the chat. I think we're live on YouTube too.
What are we going to do with the chat?
What's
You need
the
to tweet
link?
about it. You can tweet about it.
In
the video, underneath the video on YouTube, you can share and then tweet.
I'm just going to put it in the chat. Gotcha.
Prashant, can you fire up Datagram?
I think we're live on YouTube too.
What are we going to do with the chat?
What's
You need
the
to tweet
link?
about it. You can tweet about it.
So I was just checking the audio. I think we're all good.
Right? Yep.
We're going great. I can hear myself on YouTube. I can hear everyone. I think we're good.
Okay. You guys can see, right?
Yep, I can see it.
Hang on, just let me make the tweet.
Yep. It kind of looks like Spotify, right?
It's really good UI, man. It's really bad.
The UI is really good. Yeah. All right, for our joiners on Twitter, because I can see we have quite a bit joiners, we're going to play with Datagran today. It's a tool where you can deploy ML models and integrate data sources. We're just waiting for Pratham, and then we're gonna make a start.
Yeah, we're gonna explore Datagran, all its functionalities, maybe try a pipeline end to end.
Yep.
Yeah, and like it's mostly no code, so like I don't need to write a lot of code, like maybe SQL queries at most. So like it's supposed to take care of all of it, so that'd be nice.
So I think it's important that we give context on what Datagran is, what we're trying to achieve today.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So just to kick that one off, Datagran is a tool which allows you to visually deploy models, manage your models, govern your models. You can do feature engineering. You do have to upload the model yourself. But once you have a trained model, you can upload it and then integrate it with data sources. We'll go through what kind of data sources they can do, but it's pretty cool because it's pretty much drag and drop and click, as Prashant mentioned, some SQL queries here and there.
Yeah.
And it's really focused on the data science part. You know, what analysis, analytics, but what conclusions can you draw from your data? And it's effortless. Actually, I just read it now, but I meant it. So, you know, the business apps effortless is really what they're all about. And today we're just going to play with it. So if you're here at the start, sit back, relax. We're just going to go and walk through the tool. Next week, we'll be back, and then it will be more of a end-to-end use case that we'll show you guys. Today, we're just playing with it. If you have questions, comments, drop them in the comments underneath the tweet, or head over to YouTube if you want to have a more quality live stream. Pratham will be tweeting about that. We're still waiting.
I just did.
And he just did. Just gonna retweet it on my. Cool. Let's go.
Yep. Okay. So we can see, and like this week we're just gonna do like a basic pipeline, just to see like how it's working and all that, and then later on we can come back and like build a more complex pipeline, more data sources, and do like kind of like a lot more realistic thing than today. But like today we're gonna just do a tiny model, maybe Titanic.
Put it in the chat.
Like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's how we can start. And so this week we're just gonna do like a page, and like if you like want to play with it, you can just sign up, and they kind of have a free tier, so you can do like maybe a couple models. So we can do that. So let's log into that. Okay.
Actually, now that I think about it, I may have messed up the audio on the live stream for a bit because I was playing the live stream and then it was recording the desktop audio as well. So, yeah, just
don't worry about it.
Yeah,
it's for the next time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we're
okay,
all
so we can connect to a workspace. Like, let's log in. Okay, it has my credentials. That's fine. Okay, we're in.
Nice.
So there are some demo projects here. We can see integration. I'm guessing like this is like kind of how we add data to it. So like these are some presets. We can see like a Google Sheet here, and this is from AWS Redshift. Yeah, I think yeah, it's from AWS Redshift. I guess from the icon. And this
Yeah,
is
the
kind
icon
of
speak for itself.
yeah, like AWS icons are like easy to like. This is like
Yeah.
to recognize, right? And okay, this shows the team members. So yeah, Pratham's not here.
I'm here. Yeah, not yet,
Yeah,
but
he's just our streaming guy. So okay, this is regarding models, I guess. Okay, so okay, this is the main UI. Do we have anything else?
I mean,
Okay,
so for context
so
for Datagran, so like typically, when you're making machine learning models and you want to deploy them in big companies, you get the data from lots of different sources. Like you'll get the data from maybe like a database, you'll get from some API, some other source, and then you'll have to, make the model based on that, and then you'll have to deploy it to several places with several different, specifications and like, things like that. So it's a very complex process. It's a very time consuming process. So this field is mostly called ML ops per se. But what Datagran allows you to do is it simplifies the entire process, and it makes sure that you can deploy models and stuff without having to worry about where the data is coming from, cleaning the data, like, and it just it provides like a easy graphical user interface for doing everything. I think actually Raza has a lot of experience with this. I'm sure he has something to say about that.
Yeah, so when you talk about big companies, you're spot on, Pratham. And I think it's a boring word, but governance comes to mind. Managing everything, like how to version your models, making sure that the data is stable, the integration is stable, so making sure that your schemas are stable, stuff like that. It's very important, and that's actually what excites me the most. Like talking about, hey, what are those models going to look like, and how do you maintain those models? Having them look more like static available. But I think the thing that is the coolest, and we're going to get to that part, is the visual. The visuals, like how you visualize the whole data integration and the model and
yeah,
what comes out
yeah,
of it. And as Prashant said as well, like these icons speak for themselves. So if you have a Google Sheet or a CSV file or text document, but also, I don't know, a SQL database or an AWS Redshift database, whatever it is, they speak for itself. So I really like the UI.
yeah.
And
UI is nice. Like right now, it looks like Spotify would be like in light version.
yeah, exactly. And the thing is, when you work with ML models and with data projects, you know that it's all like .py files everywhere, Parquet
Yeah,
files everywhere.
yeah,
And if you're lucky, you have a good folder structure and directory set up. But if not, even then, you guys are gonna see like the visuals, like how you manage your workspace, and like the team members, like this already looks like really really good.
yeah. And also like if you deploy models, like you have to write a lot of boilerplate code. Like you have to make sure you have generalized code that can like say you have to refresh the data sources, then you'll have to like write that script up and like configure all this thing. But like if you're not sure, like as far as I know, Datagran like does that. Like it refreshes your data sources every, like you can set the intervals, like how often do you want your data to be like refreshed and refreshed all the sources. So like you can do that. And like the best thing is like it's GUI based, so you just have to drag and drop and connect things like that, kind of like connecting the blocks, and it runs itself. Like you don't have to configure a lot, only like the minimal necessary for your model and
Right.
for your data. So that's quite nice. So we're gonna see that in detail today.
Cool.
Okay, so should I create a new project? Okay, maybe yeah, let's go create a new project probably.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Okay, what should we call it?
We'll go demo 2 or something.
Okay, demo stream.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, yeah, description for integration. We're gonna select integrations later. Okay, so you can invite people, I guess. Yeah, let's just invite four. Yeah, let's just invite Raza. And yeah, okay,
It
so
might
we
be a good
can
idea
integrate some
to
data.
Might be a good idea to invite me as well while we're at it.
But I think like for that I'll have to like add you to the workspace as well. I think Reza would need to add you to the workspace
Yeah, I
first.
think I need to add you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do it
But
later.
I'll
No
do it.
worries.
Yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
it. We'll do it in the next stream. That's fine. Like I'm just adding Reza just to show the functionality. Like, yeah, he's
Yeah,
not going to use
yeah.
it right now. So that's
I'm a
it.
team member now.
Yeah. And integrations, yeah, we can, yeah, rather than adding, we can add some of these just to like see like how data loads and all that. We can add our own source later. Yeah, we can do that. And yeah, we don't have any model, so yeah, we're gonna skip this one. Yeah, let's create the project.
So this is sort of like the boilerplate, just setting up the project, setting up the properties and, dependencies and stuff.
Yeah, this is kind of like the workspace. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Awesome.
okay, let's create a demo stream. Okay, so we can switch the workspace from here. Okay. Yeah, so we can switch the workspaces from here, create a new project as well. This is the current workspace we're in. Okay, so we have all the projects. We have the workspace that we're in. Okay, this is it. And right now we're in boards. Okay, so this is regarding at your charts, sections, templates. Okay, so our charts and charts and all that would show up here. I think they have a demo project, so I can see like any charts or something like that.
Yeah, so here you got the visual representation of the data. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So this is what they have already like created as the default project. So like if you create charts and visualizations, you can create you can show them here as well. So
Right.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so this is basically a BI report. It's at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
Let's say,
Like, kind of like
Yeah.
Power BI and like Tableau.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me because when you talk about workspace, it's very much like Power BI. It's one of the few things I really like about Power BI. But I like the colors on this one.
Yeah, the color scheme is nice. And okay, so we have integrations. Okay, so like here, like if we add something here, it's gonna show up. So I will add it on our project, and we'll see this team members. Let's switch back over the project. Yep. Okay, so we have integrations. Okay, these are the two that we selected, so they show up here. And this is team members. Okay, so yeah, we can see the team members here. We can add more from here as well. And okay, so this is the okay, so we can add like okay, so if we have any scikit-learn models, I think we can add it from here and like predict on that data like once we have added the model. So this is okay, so we can read the documentation as well. I think I have it open. Okay, so if they have a documentation, entire
Nice.
documentation on the operators on Notion. Yeah, so we can look into that. Okay, so for Web SDK, you can see the introduction, how do pipelines work. Okay, this is like entire description. They also have a YouTube, so we can open that.
I mean, yeah, I think it would be nice if we could just share this document with our viewers as well. So if they want to try out Datagran, they can also go through
let
this.
me put into the chat. You can tweet it or something.
I'll
Yeah.
put in the description.
Cool one.
Yeah, I think Raza, you
Yeah,
can
I've
put
said-
it under your tweet.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Okay, and it's their YouTube as well. Okay. Yeah, we have some tutorials as well, I think, that I saw. Yeah, API and all that. So we can check that out too for like if you want to build something more, we can check out more tutorials from here. Let me share this as well. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the project. And okay, so we looked at the models that we can add from here. Now these are the boards. We don't have any charts over here right now. So yeah, we'll see that later. We have pipelines. So here, like all the stuff that would actually happen, like in the pipeline, we'll create a new pipeline. We can see the components that you want to add. And yeah, this is where the most of the stuff is gonna happen. And these are the charts. Okay, so we can create multiple kind of charts from here: pie chart, bar chart.
Yeah, this will be shown on the front page, so to say.
Yeah, that's what
we
we
just saw right now.
Yeah, that's what we see from there. We have some templates. I'm not entirely sure what does template does right now, but I think this is regarding visualization.
So I
Hmm.
believe it's like a pre-made, like template that you can just add to
Yeah,
your
so it
project. And
says, yeah, integrate the Datagran web pixel or SDK or set Datagran as destination segment. Okay, it's regarding visualization as well. We can create some analysis and integration here. And this is for REST API. Okay, so I think when we build a pipeline, then we can create a like REST API right from here. We don't have to do a Flask or something externally. So we can add it here, and yeah, then I think they would start showing up here. Okay, REST API, SQL API. Yeah, we can create that here.
so I mean, so the point what we're trying to tell here is what happens in the pipeline is first you get the data, you clean it, then you make the machine learning model, and then you deploy the model so that you can interact with the model and make predictions with it using a REST API. A REST API is basically a way of if you have made web apps and stuff, you'll have the front end like what the user sees, and there's the back end. So in order to make the back end and the front end communicate, you need something called an API, and in this case, you can use a REST API, you can use a SOAP API, but that's what we're trying to achieve here. So
Yeah,
there
so
are
once
yeah.
you'll have API, like you will have your trained model. So you like if you want to make a prediction on that, you'll have to like put it on the API, and then it'll return the like prediction for you. So yeah, so like once we can host the REST API, we can do those predictions as well after the pipeline is completed. Okay,
Okay.
okay, so let's try to create a new pipeline. Okay, this is the canvas, I think. Yeah. So
Yep.
we'll drag and drop elements here from the right hand side. Pick a yeah, drag and drop and integration, connect operators and integration and transform your data, send the model outputs. Okay, so we can connect Slack and stuff here as well. Okay, so
And this is
these
what
are
I was
the
talking about.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, the user interface here looks pretty
yeah.
sweet.
You don't have to read.
No, exactly.
Yeah, and we can make the canvas bigger and small. Yeah, so these are the sources that we have added so far. Okay, so these show up here.
Yeah. So
These
that's
let's look at some of the
that's
outputs.
where we're
Yeah,
getting the data from.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I guess it would be helpful if you explain what an operator is, what is an action, and what's like a data source. Let's go by
Yeah, yeah,
each
yeah.
step. Like
Okay, so
what's going on.
let's go to that. So okay, so first we are seeing the sources. So these are just like where like your data would be. So like say you add an integration, say you want to source your data from AWS Redshift or Google like Google Sheets or some other sources that we can add from to. We'll look at that. So these would show up here. So this is it would all start from first from the data. So we're gonna pick this up as the front like as the first block in the pipeline. Then like for transformations and everything that we're gonna do on the data, that would come under operators. So like we could see custom model. If we have a custom model for that data, we can add a custom model, do predictions on that. And we have some other things as well, like we can do like for algorithms we have regression algorithm, clustering as well. And these are these are built in Spark. These are Spark algorithms, but you don't have to worry like if you know or don't know Spark, because these are just operators. You just have to connect them, and you don't need to write any Spark or something like that. You just drag and drop it and just add some configuration and you're good to go. Yeah, we have SQL too. So yeah, we'll often need SQL because we're gonna query the data, we're gonna see the output, we're gonna add it to the further pipeline. And then comes the action. So like once you're done creating the main operators, you add the data, you add some algorithm, and then you could create an API. Like you have an API export right here. So like you basically won't need to do any coding for that. You once you're done with the model, you could just add your API directly to the model, and it'll host the API, and you'll just need to like grab it and you can send it out to your terminal and get the prediction from that. And we have CSV file, Facebook audience. So like you can like you want to like broadcast your outputs and something like that to other sources, you can do that with here. So we have Facebook audience and Google audience. Power BI you can like coming soon. So like yeah, so I think they're adding some more functionalities too. So we can see like we could stream it to Power BI, Webhook, Sales to Marketing Cloud, Google Sheet as well. So I think yeah, this is the all the categories we have. So we're gonna pick stuff from here, and we're gonna build a small pipeline. So let's just look at the data first. Like this is just the pre-built data. We're gonna build a Titanic pipeline. So we're gonna import some more data here. But for now, let's just look at the data, how basic elements work. So
Yep.
yeah, I just drag and drop here, and you could adjust the size as well. So this is some basic data. Now what we'll have to do, like there's no editing here. Like only operation we need is delete for that. So that's fine. Now let's add something, say, yeah, SQL. So let's query it. Yep, we can come over here.
So SQL is basically a way of querying data from like a database.
Yes,
So
yeah. So like
could
you
be-
have data.
it could be like a Postgres database, MySQL database.
No,
like
no,
there
no,
are
no.
bunch-
This is the operator. So like this is like that you're talking about. That would be in the sources. So like if you add the sources, like rather than campaign data, here would be your data source, like be it SQL, Postgres SQL. But this is SQL is like the operator. So like what would happen is that, say like
what
when
you do
when
with the data that's being coming
yeah.
through
So
it.
like you want to see the data, like you can see the data from here, right? So if you want to see the data, you'll need to query it, and for that you'll need the SQL operators. You can actually query the data that you're seeing right now. So like say we want to see what's in the campaign data, what we'll do is that we can connect it over here. It's connected here. So now it's connected. Now we can do some editing over here, it says. So yeah, so this is the campaign data. These are the tables present. So like we want to, yeah, we can query it. So here we would run a query. We write a query, and like this is how the data that we've connected to that, this is how we'll query it. We'll see the output for that. Yeah, so you can see like the table that we have here, like this is the data that's inside it. So you can see, yeah, this is the data that we have. So like basically SQL, you are using SQL to fetch the data. You're gonna do all the stuff that you're gonna do, like selecting features and all that. Most of the stuff you're gonna do here using SQL. So you can query that. Like we query the data here, then we like pass it on to the model. So it's gonna
Yeah.
train and all that. So
But
yeah,
but this is literally like anyone who's ever retrieved data from a database, they know you do that with SQL.
yeah.
So this is
yeah,
basically
yeah.
using SQL. But so maybe good to clarify that the SQL operator is actually like a mini notebook that
Yeah, exactly,
in which
exactly. Yeah, like kind of
Yeah.
like when you do in Python, you do the pd.read CSV, that like you read it. So like here you'll like all the stuff that you're gonna do, like that you do with pandas and all that, you're gonna do here with SQL. So yeah, and like you don't have to do a whole lot. Like you just have to do basic operations, just like selecting the columns, just converting the columns into like appropriate types, and that's how it's gonna happen. So yeah, so it's not that hard. Like you don't need any experience and all that. SQL is hard. SQL is quite easy for this. So like this
Yeah,
is just
it's-
one, and like most of it's like the basic operation, like selecting it, like it's gonna come like just like this way. It's gonna come beforehand. You don't have to write like every single thing. So
Right.
that like the table name, like soon as you connect the operator, so like the operator that we see, soon as you connect the operators, you're gonna like it's gonna automatically know like what have you connected, and you're gonna see the table names here. So you can just pick
Yes.
up from there. You don't have to like find out what figure out what's the name of the table and all that.
So
Yeah.
it imports the schema straight away.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
file
yeah,
metadata.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's nice. And also for the folks who are listening, this looks a little bit like a light version of Databricks. You know Databricks notebooks? Have you ever used them? This looks like a light version. Like obviously you don't have to specify the clusters and stuff like this, but this is basically a place to write your code, connect your data, and see the schema.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Okay, so like this is how we like connect two things. So like everything what happens like has to has to be connected. So once you connect it, it's gonna understand what it's being connected to, and like you're gonna have the table names and the basic functionality. And yep, so this is how we query data. And I think we can like now we could try add some of our own data and build something a little of our own. Like yeah, let's do that. Maybe build something for Titanic. So let's build a tiny script, just creating a like data, like creating for Titanic. We can build a small model in sklearn, and then we could do the entire pipeline here. Let's just open Titanic. Okay.
So right now we're making the machine learning model, and we're using
Yeah,
this
like
thing called
yeah.
we're using
Go
this
ahead.
thing called Google Colab, so it just allows you to make the machine learning model. right on a server somewhere, with Google, that that saves us some time. It's like really quick and it's fast. So that's what we're using here. Prashant, is the runtime set to a GPU or is it CPU?
No, we're not gonna read runtime GPU because what we're gonna do is like we're just gonna fit a model, like build a model of for Titanic dataset using sklearn. It doesn't need GPU, and we're just gonna
All
build it
right.
here so you can see the accuracy here in sklearn, and we can see like whether we're getting the like same kind of results over there. So we could just do a sanity check here, like look at some features, build some basic data.
So
So
the
yeah,
so that for context, so you can continue programming. I was just explaining. So the
yeah,
Titanic
yeah,
data
yeah.
set is basically, it's a collection of the data set that tells you based on certain parameters what sort of people survived on the Titanic, like the Titanic crash or not. So like did so like assuming that let's say if somebody had more siblings with them on the Titanic, maybe they had a lesser chance of surviving there or something like that. So we got like a bunch of parameters and whether they survived or not. So you can see there's a passenger ID, there's whether zero is so in the survived column, zero means that they died, one means that they survived, and then there's the P class. P class is, I think, for so like in the ship, like there are like certain levels, like certain levels of decks that you can be in. So P class, tells you that. The name tells you what their name was, and then you have their gender, you have their age, you have their the number of siblings that they have. So basically, you have all this data, and that has some correlation to whether the passenger survived or not. And right now, what Prashant is doing, he's removing some of the unnecessary data, and he's just removing that, just
Yep.
cleaning that up. So
So like.
this is sort of like our benchmark for testing if how well Datagram fares to this.
Yeah, and something good to mention is you've probably seen this with the Kaggle challenge. The Titanic is very popular machine learning challenge that Kaggle presents. So this is actually a fun way to do the same. And something else, maybe Prat and Prashant, you can shed light on it as well. Often in machine learning predictions, you float between a 0 and 1. So what you do is you predict by saying 0 or 1 with a yes or no, but it's not it's very very unlikely that you'll get exactly 0 or exactly 1. But this is just a demo. That's why you see 0 1 as in yes, no, survive or not.
Yeah, exactly. And like what we're doing is like the goal is here is not to like get the best accuracy or something. We're just building it like a toy example so we could test it on the Datagran platform, like build the same pipeline. And so we're gonna like just pick up some of the columns, like some of the easiest columns, say like P class, SIBSP parts. Like we're gonna only pick 4 or 5 columns, and we're gonna just get decent accuracies just so we know that yeah the model is actually working, and then we can build the same pipeline over Datagran with only the GUI, and we can see like how Datagran works and how the Titanic works. So like and then what we could do, like maybe in the next stream or something, we could build a better example, like more realistic with higher accuracy. So we're just right now I'm just dropping some of the columns that like we're gonna not gonna need, like passenger ID, name, yeah, because like all we like for this we'll need to do some pre-processing and all that. So like we're right now we're just trying to build a simple example. So yeah, we're gonna just remove these columns and pick only the most useful ones, like with the minimal effort that we need. So yeah, so I've just dropped all the columns. I'm also not handling like the missing value and all that right now. We can do that in Datagran as well, like using SQL. But right now I'm just gonna like do it quick, and so I'm dropping it here, so we could just see it in action mostly. Yeah, so so we have the data, we have removed the missing values. Let's just pick up some of the features for that. Okay, we can pick P class, we can pick age, and we can pick SIBSP.
So we're just like
Pick
choosing some of the
art.
more important parameters
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
yeah, that allows us to predict whether someone died or survived on the Titanic. So
Yeah,
we're
this is
using a
also
linear.
commonly called feature. This is also commonly called as a feature engineering. So which features will have an impact on our output, and that's
No,
what
it's
basically Prashant is doing.
I think it's like feature selection. Feature engineering would
Feature
be
selection. Sorry, yeah, feature
yeah.
selection. Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Go on,
feature
Pratham.
feature engineering is like a lot more involved. It's like
Is
you
it?
Yeah,
scale the
yeah.
values.
Like if
You
you're gonna do, like, say we have a sex column, we could, like, we transform it. Okay, like we create a separate column for male, we create separate one for female, like that kind of stuff, combining different features. That would be
yeah.
like feature
Be-
engineering, and that would definitely give us better accuracy. But like we're building a simple here, so yeah,
be-
just
Yeah.
keeping same. Yeah,
because the thing is, machine learning models don't understand what's male, what's female. They only understand numbers. You give them numbers, they give you like a numerical output. That's in probability. So that we have to make sure that like we're only putting numbers through a machine learning model. Otherwise, it will not understand anything. And right now, I believe we're going to use like a linear regression model. That's the plan, right?
no, it's classification problem. So yeah, we're gonna put, like, take some random
Never
forest or
mind.
maybe something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a random forest classifiers or something like a decision tree should be fine.
Yeah.
So what I was talking about is it's basically a machine learning algorithm that we'll fit the data onto, which will allow us to make train the model and later on make predictions with it. Right now, what Prashant is doing, he's splitting. So we have this data, we're splitting it into test and train data. So first we'll train our model on a part on like some part on 80% of the data, and the rest of the 20% we're going to use it for our prediction. So that's what
Yeah.
he just
So you
did
can
there.
see, like, we have X train and X test. So like we're gonna use 569 rows for training the model, and 143 to just validate it and see some like see the accuracy on the unseen set. So that's why we have split it. And yeah, we're let's just do a scalar model right now, and then we'll do the Datagran model. So we have split the data. We have selected the features. So I'm gonna pull up a random forest model so we can use sklearn dot ensemble. Yeah. So, like, random forest basically just a lot of decision trees combined, and like they kind of use the bagging principle. So, random forest is just collection of multiple trees, and decision trees that, like, most of you would know that they are basically just kind of like if and else. Like, if feature is this, then we should do that, kind of like that. So, random forest is like in ensemble, multiple decision trees are combined to get results, and it's like very one of the very popular algorithms among like random forest XGBoost. They are like the most popular algorithms that are like used on Kaggle for different competitions, and they are pretty robust to data. Like for like to unscaled data, like random forest and XGBoost work really well. So yeah, so like we're just gonna use that, and we're gonna use the same algorithm on Datagran as well. So let's train it. Okay, so we have trained the model now. Let's let's do some prediction on the test set, and we could see some accuracy.
So we're just training the model over here so that we can get a
Yeah,
baseline. Yeah.
yeah, we have trained the model now. Like we have done that on the test side, the unseen side, we have done some predictions. So you can see the predictions come out to be 0 or 1. That means like, so like the objective was to see like whether a person given these 4 5 features, given these 4 5 features, we have to see like whether we have to predict whether the person survived or not, and then we're gonna compare to the actual answers, and we're gonna see how much accuracy we got. Like I'm not sure like we would get much like above than 60 70, because yeah, we're basically just pulling up only very few of the features. So yeah, just to build a model, so we're basically not gonna get a lot of accuracy here. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna pass the actual answers, and then we're gonna pass our predictions for that. Yeah. Okay, 68. We got 68 accuracy. So you can see it's not much, but basically we did nothing.
So
We
it's like
just
so
yeah.
68 I believe is 68% of like
Yeah,
68%
yeah,
of the
yeah.
predictions were
68% of the
correct.
times we're getting it right. Yeah, exactly. So like we just took 4 5 features and we did no feature engineering. So and still we got at about 70%. So that's not bad. Now like yeah, so we're gonna use this same data set, and we're gonna switch over to Datagran and like then build a pipeline there. So you like we did all this code so we could like get a basic model and so that we could do the same process over Datagran with their approach using the only the GUI mostly. And yep, so let's export this data so we can also I think we'll also need to put the test set so we could do the predictions over there, the final predictions with that. So let's upload the test set as well. Okay, it is uploaded. All the same features that we have here. Yes, so we have our test data set now. For on this one, we're gonna predict the final answer. We don't have the actual answer for this. This is just for prediction. And so let's drop the missing values from here and export it to a CSV. Okay, this is the test data we have now. Also export the prediction one, the training one. So
So basically, we're gonna use this model and upload it to Datagran, right?
no. Like we're not going to do that. We're like doing like something better. We're gonna build the model itself in Datagram. We're just gonna take the data. We're gonna upload it there. We're gonna add the Spark models that they have. We can select the algorithms from there. It's gonna run. It's gonna train the model itself. Then we're gonna like pull up the predictions from it and like add the API component so we could see it end to end. And like the model feature, maybe we'll do it next time. It's
Right,
also
right.
like quite nice. So like basically in that we'll need to create the model beforehand, all the pipeline, and we could upload the model there, host it there, and get predictions from it over Datagram.
Nice.
So yeah, so like we have both our data sets, so like we can let's download them and we can upload it to Datagram and add integration to their sources. Okay, we have saved them. Okay, so now we can switch over to Datagram. And now like we can see like we don't have those sources here. So what we'll need to do, we'll need to add these integrations over here so then we can use the data. So let's head over to integrations. So here you can see integrations we have here, and right now we have the default ones only, so we can add our own. Okay, add more data sources. And so you can see right now like these are all the data sources that you could use. So you can pull up data from Amazon S3, CSV, BigQuery, Facebook ads, Google ads, Google Sheets, HubSpot. Like you can use here is we have MySQL, PostgreSQL, and MongoDB as well, and Stripe, Snowflake, Web Analytics. So you can see like you have like multiple choices. Like these are plenty of choices. Like if you want to pull data from, and we're only going to use Google Sheets here just to keep it simple. But like these are just the all the options that you can use, like BigQuery, like very common in companies. Also, like they have usually have MySQL, Postgres, like SQL database, and
Yeah.
Amazon Redshift as well. So like it's quite easy just to add integration here. Okay, so we'll need to spreadsheet ID. So like first we'll need to add the data on our Google Sheets. So let's pull up Sheets. We're gonna add the sheet here. Yep. So this is our sheet, and now we're gonna like integrate it into Datagram. Now, so for the integration, we'll need to connect our account, our Gmail account, and then we'll need to add the ID as well. So this is the ID that they require in order to pull up the data. So let's copy this, head over to Datagram, and yeah, this is a spreadsheet ID. So let's select my account. Yep, it's there, and we can add the ID now. this is the date. So like yeah, so what date is like we're gonna adding the data. So like we're adding data right now, so we pick up 10. So like what, like you could see it over here as well. So like in for ID was just to like uniquely identify the sheets. Like from the account it needs some kind of like some kind of symbol to like to know what sheet we're pulling it from. And the start date, you could see it says that this is the date time used to look for newly updated or created files based on the modified timestamp. So what date is going to be used is that like since like if you want to refresh any data sources, say you have added a sheet and you want like you added 1,000 more rows, you want to refresh that, you want that new data, so it's gonna know like at what dates the data was refreshed. So like in case we want to add more data that we have updated, we could do that based on dates. So this is why this is important.
Nice. Yeah, makes sense.
And yeah, and this is something columns header must be unique. So yeah, column headers, yeah, they're all fine. And columns with empty headers will not be added. Yeah, we don't have any empty columns, so that's fine as well. Data integration is pulled as a string. You will need to cast your query if you have numbers. Example. Okay. So this just means like when we query our data using SQL, all the features that we're gonna pull, all the columns, they're gonna be treated as string. So like if we have to use it for algorithm, we'll need to convert them into float. Like yeah, we'll need to explicitly cast them into float, so it can understand these are numbers and it can use the numbers as well. So yeah, this is kind of like just converting your data frame columns into like float type, int type, so we could use it into algorithms. And your table must be formatted. So I yeah, it's fine. So let's put a name on it. Yeah, now we could add it. Yep, this is now like soon as like data is integrated, we're gonna pull up the same columns that we use here to train the model. And yeah, we're gonna add a model there and see the results on there end to end. Yep. Yeah, let's do that. Then we're gonna add the test data as well. So okay, so the data is loaded. Now you could see like rather than just the main sheets, it also like integrated some of the metadata about the sheet. So like sheet metadata, spreadsheet metadata, file metadata. Like train like the only name without metadata. This is the main sheet. So this is the sheet that we need for all the columns would be there. So we're just gonna add this to the integration. Replication frequency. Okay. So set how often we should update the data from the source in our platform. Default value set is weekly. Okay. So basically this would mean that the same thing that I like said, that if we want to update the data from the same source, we want it refreshed. So it could reflect the changes. We can set the actual interval here, like how often it should do it automatically. So you don't have
Yeah.
to worry about, so like you have a database and you have a company, like it keeps getting updated and you add new columns, new data to it every day, every week. So and you're gonna need it on your endpoint as well, right? So soon as like when you're working real time, soon as your new data comes in, you want the predictions on that like as they happen. So like rather than doing it all manually, this would just automatically refresh your data source and your model can make predictions on that. So you won't need to do it manually. It'll be all taken care of. So this is how you can select it, like even the hour and minute. So this is night with time zone. We
But
could select
this,
the time zone too.
yeah,
Yep.
but this is kind of important, right? But especially if you have bigger models and bigger
Yeah.
data sets, because probably you want to have them trained or updated like in the night when you're not like looking at them
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
makes
Exactly.
sense.
Yeah. So okay, so we can just select once. We don't need to update it. And yeah, let's add it here. Okay, do we need to add it on the project? Yeah, we can add it to this project.
Yep. So,
Okay, so it's extracting right now.
So it's just querying the data from Google Sheets and it's just making sure
Yeah.
everything's ready. Yeah.
Yeah, so soon as it's loaded, we're gonna see like how many rows it has loaded. And once it's done, then we could start working on this. So it should say, let's see how many rows we have here. So it should be 800, I guess. and we have
Still
extraction.
running.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's running. And like, so like if you have multiple extractions, say you did it today, like again the data was refreshed, more data was loaded. So like here's kind of like the timeline, your extraction jobs you can see. So like this is the one that we just ran, so you can see the exact time that it's been ran, how much time it took, and you can see the same number. We have all the data here. So we have 891 rows, so this is removing the header. So we have 891 rows, and like say like, and you could see the timestamp here. This is like when it got it, when it added the data. And when we refresh, we're gonna see it. We can see more of it here, but like right now we're just doing it once, so there's just one row right now. So, and these are just, yeah, this is fine. And yeah, we could add it, delete it here, make changes to it. So okay,
Yeah,
so
to our
we're fine.
settings.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you could see 891 dates are loaded. It says running. I think it's just like a little slow, so we could, yeah, it should go, it show completed. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so we have our rows. So now we could, like, we have added the integration. So we have added the integration from Google Sheets. Now we can use this data to actually make something of it. So
That's
let's go
cool.
back to our workspace, and okay, let's go back here. Pipelines. Okay, so we didn't save the pipeline, the one component that we added, so we can create it again, no issues. So now you can see, like, previously we had only two sources, now we have three. So this is the data
Nice.
that we added. Now that we can drag it over here, and let's query it first, see like if it's coming out correctly or not. Okay, so you could see, yeah, it already detects the name by itself, so that's nice. Let's see if we have the data. Okay, we have it. So there's some metadata. We don't need that, but like other than that, we have the columns. We have passenger ID, we have survived, we have P class, we have names. So yeah. So next we're gonna select our columns from this, and then we could create a model. Okay. So let's do this. Okay, we'll need to write query to select columns. I think what we could do is that they have a demo project, so we could just, rather than writing our own queries, we could just look into that, and get the basic queries from there. So let's go here. Yep. So this is their demo. So we're just gonna pull the query from here. See, like, rather than writing all from scratch.
But wait 1 second. This is basically we're switching data set now.
No. So like what we're gonna do, like we have
Oh
added
right,
our data
sorry.
set. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
we
get it
need to
now.
write SQL
Yeah,
query. So I'm just like grabbing the syntax, so like I don't have to write it all.
yeah. So we're gonna split it into train test and then predict
Yeah.
and
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, let's connect this, and this would be our training data. We could put it, and let's change the query. So we're gonna need to switch the columns that we need. So let's see what columns did we. These are the ones that we need. So we can add something like that. And I think we'll need to cast them as well, as we saw.
Yeah.
So okay. So do I remember the syntax? No, but I think we can make it work. Okay. So we could see cast. Let me see it from there. Like from the integration, I can see like what was the syntax for casting. Let's add the sample integration. We could see.
Don't you need to go back to demo?
No. I just like need to see like how the casting syntax was. So just this line.
All right.
Okay, we can go back. And now we have it. Here we have the SQL, and let's add it. So we're gonna need this, and we're gonna need our previously selected one, this, and yep, this is what we're gonna use for casting. And we're gonna need the column names. That would be this one. Okay. So now we can switch each one of these, and yep, let's remove these. Now we have it. We need it 5 times. Okay, now let's change the column names.
So this converts it to, it was a string, it goes to a float.
Yeah, that's like it said that if you by default, if you import the data, it's gonna like consider all the columns as string.
Right,
So
string. Oh,
yeah, so we'll need to convert it to float, so it could be treated as numbers.
makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah, you did mention it at the start. That's correct.
Okay, this is fine. P class, age, SIB, patch, fair. Okay, this should be fine. Let's just put the comma. Okay, from now we don't need. Okay, so like if we forgot to connect this, so like that's why nothing is showing up here. So let's copy it and like connect it here. So like unconnected, we could connect it. Now the table name should show up. Yeah, so you could see. Yeah, let's paste it back. Now we could change the table name. We have Titanic, we have the train, so let's just put add, so you can see we have it added
Oh,
here.
nice. I was thinking, how are you gonna put the title back? Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
We don't need to filter, right?
What?
The
This
where,
one?
the where, no, the where. So the where filters.
No, we
random
need
the-
it because like this is what we're gonna do. It's like it's kind of like going to do the split. Like
Okay,
the
cool.
0.8 you see here, like it's gonna
I
take
see,
only,
I see. So it's randomly
yeah.
going to shuffle it and like take 80%
Yeah,
of it.
exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So if we would like a 70-30 split, then we change to 0.7.
Yeah,
0.7. Yeah,
yeah, 0.7. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Okay, we have it.
Yeah, this looks really nice. Like, it just feels nice to use. The entire UI is really clean and yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure why this shows up. Like it shouldn't be empty, right? Because we removed everything. Okay, just a
We
second.
didn't
Let's see.
actually. Yeah.
It shouldn't be here. Do we have anything here? Like, okay, I think we'll need to change that because it says that it has null values. So yeah, I don't think this is gonna work with that.
Can we not add another filter where,
Yeah, wherever
Yeah, I
it's.
think so. Can you look up on SQL? Like I
Yeah,
don't
sure.
remember at the
Do that.
moment. Meanwhile, I could just change the data so we could.
Yeah. All right, cool. This should be it. I'm pasting it in this chat.
Okay.
So then column name and then where add value is 0, obviously.
Okay. Let's try this.
Raza is actually really good at SQL. He knows it.
Dude, it's because it's the oldest one coding language that it's
Okay, so like, do I put in 2 separate where clauses?
Oh, that is actually a good question. I would say no. Maybe we
Okay.
can reuse.
But like,
Oh,
how
no,
would you separate them?
Wait. I got that one. 1 second. Let me send it to you. I got that. It's in the chat as well.
Yeah,
you need
the
to,
last
you
time
need
I
to add
did
an end statement.
last time I did SQL was like 2 years ago. So I've lost touch.
It's super easy, but you just need to like know the like 6-7 basic functions.
Yeah.
But
Exactly, yeah.
like everyone
Like
always forgets them.
I've become one of those cool kids who I just use like when I really want to get something done, I use SQLite, and sometimes I'll just Google the SQL queries, or
Yeah.
I'll just use like something like
Okay,
MongoDB or
so
something.
do I
Yeah.
put just the and here, kind of like that? And
Or you could put first where age does not equal 0, and then end rent, and then
uh,
the
but I think a better way would be to like add the dropped
separated.
column. Like we could drop it here and then
Yeah,
add it over.
cool.
Because what we're gonna do, because we'll need to like add every single column. This column should
Yeah.
also not be null, and yeah, kind of
So
like that.
best practice, 100% best practice is
Yeah.
this, or else every time we run the query, it's going to be more resource intensive as well. So it's
Yeah.
much more better to do it here, or else you
Yeah.
also have to filter it every time. Yeah.
Yeah, but like if we are actually going to do it, like you can do it here, but like we're just making it quick for you, so, like just to be able to like give a demo. So we're just
Yeah.
gonna do some of the pre-processing here, and we're just gonna build over there. So yeah, this should not have anything missing. Let's just check once again. Okay, this looks fine. Okay, so 712 rows should be what we need to import, right? Okay, so we're gonna like add the same add another integration. Let's just copy it here, make sure we have it, and let's just add the second table. We're gonna do the same process that we did previously. Let's add it. Titanic train 2. Okay, let's add it. Hmm. Let's try again. Okay, we have it. Now we can import it again. Yeah, here we don't have any missing values. Okay, so this is, yeah, this should work. Let's copy the ID, put it in the ID, select the date, and yeah, this we have it covered. So let's try again. Yep, and then what we're gonna do, like we're gonna use this, like this training data that we have 712 rows for training and basic validation. That then we're gonna add the test set that we have. Then we're gonna add it, and we're gonna get the predictions on that. So we'll kind of will have three sets: training, validation, and prediction. And yeah, we're gonna get predictions on that using the model. So let's see if we had it. Okay, the same way we have, this is the main table, rest of it is metadata, so we can add it again. Yeah, again we're just gonna import it once. Yeah, we're gonna add it to demo stream as well. Okay, it's running again, that's fine. And then we're gonna see all the rows. Yeah, you can choose not to see the status as well.
Yeah.
Yes, spreadsheet ID, read streams, replicate, extractions. Okay, we have 712 rows. Yeah, this should show. Okay, we have
That's
700
good.
rows. Okay, we have added the extraction again. Let's go back to the workspace and now try again with this. Oh shoot, we didn't save the pipeline, but we have the query at least. So yeah, we can do it quickly again. See how you, like, I've created the pipeline 4 times. I didn't save it, so it wasn't there. But like still, you could create it again in just a matter of
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah. I really
Yeah.
love the drag and drop UI and connecting. Bam. That's it.
It's satisfying, it's like uh do we have the query? Yeah, we
Yeah,
do.
yeah, we have.
Awesome.
And now we don't need this. So yeah, let's try again. We're gonna put train data. Okay, now we have it fine. Yeah, we have it fine. So you can see we don't have all the rows because we chose only at 80% of the data. So now we could save this. Yeah, we have it named. So I yeah, so like what Datagran does is like before you connect any next element to it, you'll have to make sure that this runs. Otherwise, like if it doesn't run, the next element won't connect. So like we have to make sure that this is in running state. Like if this doesn't work, then the further components won't work as well. So like it makes sure that the current work component that you've added, like it's working fine before you add anything else to it.
So it has built-in checks, so to say.
Yeah, you could say. So
Yeah.
like one thing, if in pipeline doesn't work, it makes sure that you don't connect anything else to it. So like now you can see there's a tick mark next to it, which means that this works. So we can actually use it. And the same thing you could see, like we added these 5 columns, and we have done the same here. We have selected them and casted them as well. I okay, so we'll need to add one more column because we'll need the target as well to like yeah, we'll need the target as well. So we'll need to add the survived column here, which is our target. Yeah, we'll need the survive column as well. So let's add it to. Yeah, we've got.
Age में अभी तक sorry, in age there's it's still row number 5.
Why is it there?
Just delete the entire. Just delete 5. I guess. Or can we not fix it later on?
Like I think we'll need like the model won't work if we have null data in there. But like I'm not sure why is it null data because I think I removed it here as well. Yeah. Let's just a second. Let's
Just
see.
remove
Like
the
okay,
fifth
okay, okay.
row.
I know I got it. I mean like this is from the previous table.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, we could add the second table here. Yeah. Edit. Yeah. Okay, now it shouldn't look anything empty. Yep.
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 Sweet.
Yep. We're fine. Okay, so we had it. Let's run it again. And okay, so like we have trained data. Now let's add testing data as well, or maybe like just the validation set before we add test data. So let's connect it here, and we're gonna put the same query. Only like we're just gonna change the percentage of the rows we need. So let's put it 0.2, and let's add the target here as well. We're going to see 20% of the data here, 80% over there, and the third set we're going to add the unseen one for which we won't have the labels. And again, let's change the table name here.
Yep.
Let's put the title test or maybe validation set would be better. Yep, so we could see, yeah, we're going to break down this. Okay, so we have trained data, we have validation data. Now like let's add testing data as well so we could run it all together. So I'm gonna put the testing set here or upload. Okay, so yeah, here we have it. This would be our testing set. We don't have the survived column here. This is completely unseen. Let's get it the ID. Now, okay, first make sure we save the pipeline. Okay, so the pipeline is saved. So now, like, let's go back to integration. We'll need to add one last integration for the unseen set. It's gonna be our third set,
There's the predict,
and
right?
yeah, this is entirely unseen. We won't know the performance on this. This would be yeah, this won't have any labels, so we're gonna do it. This one we're gonna do it quickly. Titanic. What would say test or maybe unseen. Yeah. Um, yep. Here, start date 10, same process. Now, like if we were building a pipeline like this, like that makes sure that your data is getting refreshed every hour or like on a regular basis, and like adding integration, like we're just going doing Google Sheet, but like say if we had to do it from AWS Redshift or all that, like we'll need to manage a lot. But like right now we're barely gonna take an hour to do this.
Right.
Yeah, I think I removed from there the drop penny. Okay, yeah, they should work.
And after this, we build our model, right?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we got the unseen data as well. You could see 331 rows. We have it here. Let's go back to the model and add the model in the pipeline. Okay, we have pipeline. Like yeah, this time we saved, so we have it here. So we could
Yeah.
so you could create multiple pipelines too. Like if I go back over here, like even with all these integrations, you can create multiple pipelines. Like and you can then choose which one you're going to run. So you could enable and disable pipelines. So you can build multiple of them. That's fine. Yeah, so like you could build multiples of them. So let's just open this one again. Okay, so we have training, we have validation. Now we could add the unseen. So we have our third integration here as well. So yeah, let's add it. Drag and drop. Okay, sorry. Like we don't need this connection there. Rather than we're gonna use SQL on this one. So we have our first data source, which is for testing and validation. The second
Yep.
one just for the unseen one. So we're gonna query the same. Let's copy the query here. And we're not gonna need rand because like we're gonna get all the rows from this.
Yep.
And survived, we don't have target label in this one, so we will remove this. Okay, this looks fine. Let's save it. Okay, we didn't put a name. Let's put a name to it. Uh, unseen data or testing data. Yeah. Okay, I need to run it again. Sorry. Test data. Let's run it again and save it. Yeah, and like if you get stuck, like if you're exploring and you get stuck on something, like you could see how this operator works. So you can come up here, you could see what a short demo here, and it's gonna take you to the Notion page of the documentation. So you could see, like if you're not sure
Mm-hmm.
how custom say SQL operator works, you could see a demo here.
Nice.
So yeah.
By the way, is there an autosave feature? Like we should check if there's an autosave
Oh, so
Yeah,
feature.
like
that
I
would be
I
really
think
convenient.
like for the SQL one, like I don't think there is right now, like not I'm aware of. Like you have to, like once you write the query, you have to run it once to make sure the query works. Like if the query works, then you can save this one. Looks like autosave wouldn't work on this because autosave wouldn't know like right now it's like whether it worked or not. So like maybe they would do it or not. I'm not sure, but like for this one it's not. But I think for the pipeline it is there. Like when you run a pipeline, it saves the pipeline too when you connect everything and everything like has a green tick mark like on it. So like at that time I think they do save it automatically, the pipeline.
Right.
So yeah, let's run it them as well. So now like we have our two data sources, the external data sources, we have added it over here from the integration. Then what we did, we split the data. We split the first data into train and validation, and the third data we have is the test data, which is unseen one. And now what we're gonna do, like we're going to add a classifier model over here. We're gonna pick it from here, and then these all three sources would be integrated into that. training would just be used for training. Validation and test would be for predictions as well. So let's pick Spark. So like since this is a classification problem, we're just gonna pick Spark classification. So let's drag it over here. Now we make sure we join all these. Okay, let's edit. Okay, so let's put the name based on the algorithm. Okay, so what algorithm we should see? What did we use here? So basically we use random forest. So yeah, we can pick random forest over here as well. Okay, so you can see all the algorithms for classification that are listed. Now these are all implemented in Spark, but you don't need Spark. You're just going to have to select them to use. And we could see logistic regression, decision tree, random forest, like gradient boosted trees too, perceptrons, linear support vector machine, and naive base. So yeah, we could pick any of them. Their performance would be different, but functionality wise, they all would work the same. And so we could pick random forest here. Let's put the name to RF classifier. Yeah, this is fine. Now we're gonna pick the table. Yeah, we're gonna use training data for the training part. And this is kind of like the feature selection. We're gonna have to choose what columns do we need for training. So this is kind of like this is similar to like here we choose the features, like we drop these features and we chose this one. So this is like kind of like picking what we need for the X data set for the as a features for the model. So let's pick P class. Let's add more age, SIB, fair. Okay, so we have our 5 features. Now we could add the target. So this is our target that we're going to predict. And we have training parameters. So like this is kind of like how many iterations you should do and all that. So we could add it over here, and like it leads to you to PySpark documentation if you're not sure what are the different parameters that you could give to the algorithm. So you could come over here, say you could see parameters like this, max iteration. So yeah, since it's implemented in Spark, the naming conventions for the parameters are also from Spark. So you have to come over here. But like right now, we don't need it. We could just get with the default ones and like skip this. Now this is the testing data and this is the prediction data. So testing data would be like on what the performance it would like measure. So like we need to have the labels for this. So it could say like how much accuracy you have on the unseen set. So like we're gonna pick our second split. That was like the validation data, the 20%. So let's pick it over here. And this is on which like it's gonna finally predict like unseen ones. So we're gonna add the test data here. Now we'll also need to like since we're predicting on test data, we also need to know what predictions is assigned to which ID. Like we'll have to have some kind of unique ID, like we have roll number or something like that. So we could say okay, the prediction for this one is this. So we need to have a unique column, and we have ID over here that we could choose. So you could see unique identifier for the row. It will be shown in the prediction table to show which ID is the member of which prediction. So this makes sense, and we could just add our ID here. And like you could see send an email when this operator finished processing. So like if you're training a big model and you don't have to like stare at your screen all the time, you could do is like you could pick this option, send an email. So like when it's done, it's going to send you an email so you can later check back your model like is it done or not. And you could take this option, make available in chart. So like if you check this option, the output table of this operator will be available in charts. So like we saw the charts tab previously where the visualizations are done. So like you could click this and it's gonna output the table into the chart. So you could play with this and like get some visualizations. Like right now we're just gonna leave it as it is, and let's save it. So like we have added our classifier as well. Let's run it. Now I think this is gonna take a while, probably like 10 minutes. So yeah, we'll have to wait for this. Yep. So we have our data, we have our splits, we have added a classifier, and like you could even add more classifiers. So like you could pick more, drag and drop more into that, and you could at the same time you could add random forest classifier. You could pick a different algorithm or in this operator. You could add tens of these, and it'd still be fine. You could just play like put the same way we configured this. We could configure all of them, and we could just make it on runs and like add the option, send an email. So like when they're all done, you're gonna get an email. So yeah, we can check back later. So yeah, you can add multiple models. You don't like we barely had to write any code for this. We just needed some SQL to like get the table working. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
even that was pre-configured for you. But the coolest part is that you're actually building and training the model inside Datagran right now, right?
yeah, and this is not like you put the model and you could see like the your pipeline has been saved, so it's automatically done.
It
And
does automatically save. Yeah,
yeah, so
actually,
like
like
I ran this. Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
This is a very simple example. We just have one data source. We're trying to like artificially simulate things, but in the real world, you have data coming in from an API. You got a database. You got a spreadsheet. You got like millions of places where the data is coming from, and it's going to be really difficult to manage it. Like so,
Exactly.
this really it visualizes the entire thing, so it makes it so. Let's say you want to explain this entire model to someone who's non-technical, you can do that very easily. And then it also looks nice. You can easily visualize what's going on. You can tell the flowchart lines, what's happening, what's going where, and that's really the beauty of this entire tool. Really, that's how I see it.
Yeah. But I'm still the most flabbergasted I'm about is because I thought you had to upload your own model, but you can just pick an
Yeah,
algorithm
yeah.
and
You
it builds
you
it.
can even upload your own model, but like you can create it in here as well. So yeah, and also like this is not just like this is like wildly different from this one. So like here we created a notebook, we trained a model, and it gave us the model. Now this is not just that. Like here, you're not just creating a notebook that's gonna stay there. This is actually like an end-to-end pipeline, so it's gonna be a deployed model. Like
Crazy.
when it's this is done, it's gonna be actually deployed, and you could just add in REST API and get the prediction from here in real time. And like you could add like this would be an end-to-end pipeline. So this is not just a notebook that you'll manually need to host all the models, pick a domain, and kind of like that. So yeah, this is like something that happens in real. Like I think they have some sponsors, that some partners that we use. So like you could see Starbucks,
Starbucks,
Domino's, Subway,
Domino's, Subway. Yeah.
Discovery Channel. So like these are some of the giants. So like this is something that they actually use for their models. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but you
Yeah.
know what? Even I'm thinking like I've worked for big companies and trust me, this process is not easy and it's
yeah,
also like it's nitty-gritty. It's like
exactly,
a lot of
exactly.
things you gotta think about and your model's not running for a simple reason. Oh, someone changed the folder name. Something like that. And right now you don't have to worry about all of those things because it kind of like covers it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, man. I mean, um,
Yeah.
this could save you
So
so much time, so much money. Um, like, yeah, I like right now we're just trying to, show like a basic use case, but as Raza said, working in a big company, this could be like, this could be the difference between deploying a model on time or, losing out on lots of revenue. So, like, time is key over in that sort of scenario.
yeah, like
Yeah.
so like if you don't have like a like super skilled data team or extensive data team, you can actually deploy a model and not
Even
worry too much
even
about it.
if even if they're skilled, it's still, time,
Yeah,
like it will
yeah,
still take
it's a
time.
headache. It's a headache, kind of headache.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, so right now I guess we could convert this into a REST API and let's try to run that in the terminal.
Yeah, so like yeah, as soon as it's done training and all that, we could actually see some of the predictions, see the accuracy metrics, and
So
Yeah.
like
yeah, we're
so
gonna
like in a
yeah,
in like 1 hour we were able to get the data, process it, make the model, and then deploy it. Like
yeah,
that's
Less.
insane.
Less
exactly,
because we actually
exactly.
started with the Python part. Less than an hour.
Less than
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because we and we had to like re-import the table as well. So yeah, it would be less than an hour if you don't make mistakes. But like and like even if you create in complex pipelines, it won't take a whole lot of time, like compared to what you do using code and configuring everything on your own. This is like
Right.
much efficient. Yep. So let's wait till it's done training. We could look something else maybe for that time. Okay. So we do have free tier as well. So yeah, we can try things for free. Yeah. So you could sign up, and like if anyone wants to try explore the platform, more like you can at least create a basic pipeline without having like cost a lot. Or like for the free tier, you won't you like there's a free tier, so you won't need to like pay for anything for the for like if you integrate just one source, keep the limited data.
Right.
And they have, let's see some of it. Okay, so yeah, like this is what we saw. We have the documentation, and like you could see even see their case studies as well. So like these are their client success stories. So Starbucks case study. So like this is kind of how they used for Starbucks to use the Datagram as a platform.
Right.
So like if anybody is interested, like we could explore these things, like all these companies. So
Yeah.
like
So but
mhm.
if you, so one of the things that I think that's also exciting that maybe we didn't touch about is that model versioning. It also take care of that, right? So if you have like the versions of your model, you can go back and forth, right?
Yeah, so like if like once it's done, I'm gonna go into integration and show you. So like you where the part where you could upload the model, right? So like say you upload a model, it's gonna ask you like what version it is. And like say you upload for the same problem, you upload 10 models, and you'll have a versioning as well. So like you could pick what, like say you have a pipeline, you just want to select what version now I want this pipeline from. You could just switch the versions as well. So
Yeah, because that's super interesting for like, for instance, if you're trying to, let's say, um, if you want to set dynamic pricing, for instance, so you want to set a price based on certain factors, those factors change in different areas. To give you a very simple example, if I'm selling bread, but I'm selling bread in the city center, it should be much more expensive because my rent is expensive. But if I'm selling bread, let's say somewhere else, it should be less expensive. So all of these things that you know, all these features that have influence, let's say, on the best price, and it needs to continuously change. You would like versioning for that. You would like a different version depending on maybe region, depending on maybe time, etc. So this is why I remember, because I saw it before. I think when I was scrolling through, I saw you could really pick versioning and save versions. That's I want to let's dive into that in a bit as well, because I think that's going to be super powerful. Because look, anyone who's worked with ML models knows it just doesn't stay with one model. It's not about improving. You have different versions. You have different views you wanna, all are relevant, you know.
yeah, exactly. So like say like we have talked about refresh data sources. Like you today, like you have if a new week comes, you have 1 week more data. Now what you want to do, like we already saw that you could already like auto refresh the data sources. So it's gonna have new data. And what then you got to do, like for deploying the new model with the new data, you could just come over here, run the pipeline, and then your pipeline would be trained on the auto fresh new data. The ML model would be trained again, and you're gonna have the new pipeline. And you could do it every week, every day, like even every day. Yeah, if it's
Yeah.
not too large, you could do it every day. And you basically had to do nothing because it's gonna auto refresh the source. You just have to put the data where in the data source, and it's gonna refresh. It's gonna run the pipeline, and yeah, you won't need to do anything. The REST API would still work. So yeah, so the basically like minimal redo work that you need to do for here.
Hey, Prashant, can you go up to the operators? Because if you go to the operators, we had the SQL operator, right? And then we also have, because basically our operators, we're gonna use them. No, I was gonna say ETL, but that's not true. Only the SQL we can do basic ETL.
Yeah. So like yes, yeah, you can pick operator custom like SQL operator for doing the basic SQL, like basic pre-processing and feature selection. Like I haven't used other features. Like I'm a little familiar with custom model. This is like when you upload a custom model from SQL and you want to use that for prediction or deploy end to end. You could use this operator, and these are just algorithms. I haven't used the audience exporter and recommended products yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, like we'll need to explore more on these ones before we could use them.
Did we like mess up
Yeah.
something? Because I think it's taking a bit too much time.
No, like
No.
it takes at least like 10 to 15 minutes to get all that working. Like if it's if
Yeah.
it's if it's something
All
wrong,
right.
it's gonna come up red here and it's gonna say like it's wrong, something's wrong. And
Yeah.
like
It's been running for 8 minutes now.
yeah, so like let's wait till like it's gonna the error is gonna come up if something is wrong. It's not gonna keep running. So yeah,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
could wait at least for 13 14 minutes before we
Yeah, I
see
think
here.
like in the last couple of days, Cloudflare has some issues. So I I'm suspecting it's like some sort of issue there, but
Yeah, let's see. Like we're not an expert of Datagran yet, so
I have
let's
no
just hope
idea.
this works. Like so far
Yeah,
everything worked, so like I'm hoping like this should work as well.
I think because
yeah,
we
and I
did test
was
it before and it was like fairly quick. Could be something specific to our use case right now. That's, it's
Yeah, I
it's
think I
the
think it would depend on the data as well. I think.
yeah, it's like the law of live streams. As soon as you go live, everything just doesn't work.
that's true, man.
Yeah. And like
Yeah,
Datagran is something that we are not like we haven't explored it from like weeks or months, so like we're not expert on Datagran. Like we can deploy for something for Starbucks or something, but like at least we got to know the basics. So far it looks like it's really good. Like you don't have to
Yeah,
write a lot of code. Like
yeah,
if you don't like code, you could use Datagran quite easily.
we're just trying to show you guys how all of this works, and yeah.
yeah. And I was just thinking because one of the questions I was gonna like, or one of the things I was gonna talk about is where can you do your ETL, but you shouldn't. This is not meant for ETL. You should be
Okay,
very
okay, okay,
careful.
okay. By the way, like
Cool.
we got it working. You could see the
Let's
tick over
Nice.
go.
here. So we have our classifier running. It's trained. Now let's add SQL here and see like if we got our outputs or not. Let's add 2, 3. We could see training metrics, testing metrics, and predictions. Okay, we're gonna join all these again. Let's copy. Okay, so this is already comes with train metrics. Yeah, let's run this. Okay, so you could see, oh, we got slightly more accuracy than sklearn.
Oh
It could
wow.
depend on the split as well because it's random split. So like I'm not sure like
Yeah.
what was the exact split. So yeah, but
But
like at
but
least we were sure that it works at
we
least.
yeah we easily bet we smoked the scikit-learn thing very easily. In fact, I
Yeah,
think when I
like
first did the Titanic challenge, I got like 75%. Like after some data engineering and
we're
data
barely
scaling and all
using
that.
5 features like without any feature engineering, and like it could be Spark thing and it could be the split. We don't know, but like at least we know that it's working fine. So like our pipeline is working. It's actually getting prediction now. Let's just save it and see some testing performance. This is training performance, by the way. So like not testing one right now. So let's see the
Ah,
testing
okay,
one.
yeah.
It's yeah.
Now's the moment of truth.
Yeah,
I was
that
about to
that
say.
that wasn't it. Like it should not be above 75. I don't think it would be. It was 1668 on sklearn, so yeah, it should be less than that. Let's see. 72. Okay, so a little better. It could be
That's
again.
really
Okay.
It
good.
could be the split too. Yeah, it could be split too. But like, yeah, it's working fine. It's working fine.
Whatever it
So you
is,
could
it has
yeah.
worked flawlessly. Yeah.
Yeah, so like we like it definitely took more time than creating this notebook, but like this is not creating notebook, this is like complete pipeline, so this is like
Yeah,
comparatively
it's
like
like I mean,
really
it's like
fast.
trying to so notebook is just for like smaller projects, and I mean, it can
Yeah,
be useful.
yeah,
It is useful as a project. So not that I'm saying that, but this is a more
yeah.
full solution.
We're not doing like more data scientist part here, but we're
Yeah.
trying to
Mm.
do the ML ops part, like
We're
making
just
sure
trying
the
to give you
end-to-end
like a
pipeline
brief
works.
overview of what like a pipeline looks like and how that works here.
Yeah,
Because
and
in
yeah,
real life, we won't have like a Google spreadsheet, giving us data. We'll have like
yeah, yeah.
5 different databases, some API, some random thing to get data from. So in that case, it saves you a lot of time. Maybe you should next time, we should do like a much more complex example. That would be yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
We'll
Okay,
even
so
do like a
like
front end so that uses the REST API. So like that would be
mhm,
fantastic.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could plan that. And let's see. Okay, so these are the individual predictions. So this is like we added 3 sources, right? We had the train source, we saw the performance on that. We had the validation source, we saw the performance on that as well. Now we have the unseen set, and like for each, we could see the each for each of the ID, we could see the individual predictions. So you could see over here, we can see the predictions over here. So Let's save it too. And okay, and run each of these. Let's look at some of the ones as well, like because I was only seeing zeros. Okay, so yeah, we do have one here. Yep, so it's working fine. Yep. Okay, we have
Awesome.
all the prediction. Okay, so
Yeah,
I think I should remove the limit 20 because yeah, otherwise API is gonna give only 20 results. Now we have all our metrics. So what the final part that we could do is like add the API exporter. So we could and then we could like hit it from a we could hit it as a REST API and we could get the predictions from the hosted model. So let's
Okay.
run this too. We have added this. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, so we let's look at the pipeline entire at once. And okay, so now we're just left with adding the final REST API. So let's add that too. And we could just look at the predictions. We could add this one. Okay, so I think we'll need to add it to the classifier. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay, so we have added it to our model. Let's configure the API. Select options. Yeah, this is the model that we want the API to be connected to. We have 4 tables. So I think this should be like whether we want to get the train metrics, test metrics, or predictions. Let's try with this one. Yeah, this should be like one of these, I guess. So let's run this. Okay, so I must save the pipeline. Let's save it. Okay, now we can run it. Yep. So this is our entire pipeline.
It's done.
it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Let's see. Okay. Let me save it again first. Okay. Let's go to the API.
Does the save button give feedback? Because it looks like the save button doesn't work, or is that me?
No, no, it works. Like as soon as you click the save here, it comes over here. Like your pipeline is saved.
Right,
So
right.
yeah,
Awesome.
it
We got
works.
like this REST
Otherwise,
API.
otherwise we would
Yeah.
have lost all our pipeline. So that wouldn't be nice.
And so
Okay.
typically,
So
if you
like you can see.
wanted to like make like this API, you would have to take the model, like put it in Fast API or
Exactly.
Flask
Like
or
some you'll
yeah.
have to something like yeah you'll have to build something like a Flask version so you could get the API working and that would even be on only on local. That wouldn't be on
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
cloud. So you'll need to
Yeah.
deploy that as well. So maybe on Heroku or something like that to do that.
That's a
Yeah.
very good point,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. And like what we just did, like we just basically dragged a block, connected to it, selected the model, and just played it, and now the REST API is working. So this is like one of the things that I really feel because at the very least you have to build a Flask. You have to build a
Yeah.
Flask to get a model working. So yeah, let's try to hit this.
Yeah. Now we can get like a GET request. Looks good.
Yeah. Okay. Pratham, can you guys can other guys show see your terminal because I'll have to reshare otherwise.
I can't see the terminal. I mean, yeah, it's fine. You can reshare
Yeah,
the
you can see
terminal.
but if I send it to you, can you share can you show your terminal
Do
to
you
this
do you get
API?
the curl command in
Yeah, I
Windows?
have the curl command. Yeah, I have the curl command.
No, but do you get it in Windows? That's what I'm asking. Do you have? Can you use
No, no,
curl in
no, you
Windows?
don't, you don't, you don't, you don't get it in
I
Windows.
might have WSL. Hang on, I can do it. Just give it to me. Let's see
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I can.
you just check if in your WSL curl is working or not.
Yeah, yeah, gotcha, gotcha. I got Ubuntu, so let's see
Mhm.
which curl. Yeah, I have curl. You can send me the command.
Okay. Just I'm pasting it in immediately. Yeah, let me just make sure the entire. Yeah, it's fine. You could hit this. Like
Awesome.
when it's done running, like just go to the top of the command, like where it's run, so you could actually start seeing the rows, output columns, and all that.
But here's the thing: people on Twitter won't be able to see it.
Okay, so like okay.
Prashant is fine. You can
Let me just reshare. Yeah, let me just reshare. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't stress about it.
Yeah, share it. Yeah, can you guys see the terminal?
Yep.
Let me hit again.
Yep.
Okay, so this is the call command. That's it.
So we're basically fetching data from the API. Oh,
Yeah.
it
So okay,
gives
so this is our
you.
command. Yeah, this is the output that we're getting. These are the rows. These are the predictions actually. The rows, and like you could see, these are the like individual IDs for those rows, like for what row it has predicted. Yeah,
Mhm.
and like this is
That's amazing.
we have just selected one of the tables. So like for like you can select all the training one, the testing one as well to get what results you want. And yeah, that's done. Like the model is actually deployed right now. You can query it, you can put the REST API, and you can get your predictions. And we are we are not even 2 hours in since the stream, so this like it's quite fast.
End to end, we've done the entire thing. And yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was it, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Cool.
So like,
Maybe can
I
you
mean,
just go to the? Okay, can you maybe just go to Prashant, to the where the models are saved? Like there's this place, right? Where you can see the versioning.
I I'm not entirely sure, but like if it is like I
There,
don't exactly know. No, like
if you
this
click.
is. I think this is like for the models that we want to like upload. Like if we want to straight away upload a model and
Right,
use
right,
that.
right.
Yeah, this is not the one that like the that's done in the pipeline. So like for this, like I think they are in the pipeline. Like if there could be anywhere else that they you could see all of them right now, but like I don't know that right now. So yeah. So yeah, this is the model that we have trained. So
Yeah.
like once again, you could see the entire pipeline. This is our these are our data sources that we added from Google Sheets. These are our splits and the unseen set. This is the classifier that we actually trained. Then we have just queried the metrics, queried the classifier to see the accuracy, precision, recall, and then we added this API exporter, so you could actually use the deployed model. And yeah, basically you had to write no code, just some SQL, drag and drop, connect some dot, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And like next time, let's say you refresh the data source, you could come here, run the pipeline again, or you could set the schedule. So you want to say you want to refresh the data every week and want to run the pipeline again, you could just choose the data source, refresh it every week, set the schedule for this pipeline to every week, and you basically won't have to do anything to get your model deployed again on your data. And
Mm,
that's quite incredible.
man, that's awesome.
awesome, man.
All right. Pratham, go ahead, round it up. I think that this is it for this session.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, I
it for the
think.
session. Like I think we've achieved what we. So basically, we went over how you import data from various different sources, how you clean it up, make sure it's right for the model, make the model. Then you can deploy the model to a REST API in about 2 hours. I mean, if I were to do this, like I would have to use pandas. I have to query the data. I would have to clean it. Then I'd have to make the model in Python, and then I would have to use Flask or Fast API to make it into a REST API. And then I have to take care of costs, I have to take care of security. It's like this is like for a very simple example. Like in a much more
Yeah.
complex example where a company is working with multiple data sources, multiple models, multiple moving parts, it can get really messy. So this gives you a nice way to visualize. The Datagram gives you like a nice way to visualize the entire process, and also make sure that that things are getting done efficiently. So like it makes things really really fast. And like getting models as fast as possible is like really important. So like yeah, we had a blast trying Datagran out, and next week we'll be going more in depth, and we'll build an even more complex example. We'll do more cool things with
Yeah,
like the simple
right now like
process.
we're basically noobs for about like in Datagran. So like yeah, we
Yeah, and
don't even know all the
we're gonna make
capabilities
sure
yet.
we're going to make sure that we build an actual app and put it in production, and that's going to be sick. We'll definitely keep you posted on that. And next week, same time, we'll be live again. And yeah, I had a blast, in this entire session. Raza and Prashant were also like, we had a really fun time. And let's keep exploring Datagran. And yeah, we'll do more cool things on my YouTube channel as well. So keep subscribed, and yeah, we'll do some stuff on Twitter too. There's so much stuff coming.
Yeah,
I'm really excited.
Do subscribe. We're gonna
Yeah,
come back with Datagran
all,
again.
all the social media links are in the description. Go follow all the links that you see there. And yeah, that's about it for the stream. Let's hang out again next week at the same time. So we call it today for now.
Yeah.